Hey, 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 what's up, everyone? You know what time it is. It's our Thursday lunch bites with LaDondra and Coach Don with LaDondraHervey.com. Y'all, we are really excited to be talking about our topic today, which is speaking your brand with authority. How much better would your business be if you could speak your brand with authority? When we think about this topic, like I want you to be thinking about some of the experts and professionals and influencers that come to mind that you really admire. What are they doing? What makes them so great? What attracts you to their brand? It's because they are speaking their brand with authority. So we're going to talk a little bit about what that means and kind of peel the onion with some mindset type things. One thing that I heard this morning is wherever your mindset goes, your money flows. Y'all, that's so
Mm,
good.
good.
Storm Wellington, she was talking about that. And like, I'm kind of looking, listening at some of her content. And one thing I will tell you, she be Boston out. And one of the things that really stands out as we're thinking about those who have that brand, who are those influencers, who are those ones who are standing out in the marketplace, is I'm here's your first tip. I'm just jumping in. Like I'm literally just jumping in. We're not playing no games. The first thing is they have confidence. Like they have this just exuberant type of confidence that it's infectious. Like you listen to them and you're like, they know what they're doing, they know what they're saying, they're sold. Here's what the confidence is: they're sold on their own product and the results they create. Y'all, so many times as new business owners, as those women operating Kingdom Enterprises who are in that business, you've been there for 1 to 5 years, some of you have been there even longer, and you're still not speaking your brand with a level of confidence that showcases that you believe in your product and the results that your service. I'm using both of them interchangeably because some of you are service based, some of you are product based, but the point behind it is that you believe so much in it. You're sold on the results, you're sold on the transformation that happens, so much that you're not willing to play small. You're not willing to um, sacrifice the transformation, the words that you have to say, and the transformation that your product delivers behind you being shy, you being afraid, because you know the results that you produce from the other side. What does confidence look like? Look, I'm just going to keep going. Confidence looks like that. What I was just sharing with my daughter the other day, she she got an $80,000 scholarship for over her 4 years of college, which was a big deal. But for her, she thought about it and she was like, she wasn't even going to say it at the awards assembly because she said, I don't want to be bragging. And I told her, I said, it's not bragging, it's you showcasing your gifts, you showcasing the things that you worked hard for. You're showcasing and allowing others to experience what it means to stand in the light of their gifts and what it means to show up and do the hard work. And it's like you allow others to see your light, and when you allow others to see your light, you give them permission to stand in their own light, to stand in their own greatness. The same is true for you, sis. When you're out there and you're selling your product, you have to come with that level of confidence that, you know what, the results that I'm showcasing, yes, I'm showcasing these and I'm celebrating my clients. I'm celebrating the results that I have, and I'm doing it unapologetically because the confidence that I exude in my brand, it becomes the if how do I want to say this? The infectious thing that makes people that draw people to me, and it makes me move from a position of push, push, push to people starting to gravitate to my message, to what I'm doing. Y'all, before I even knew what I was doing like that, I went to this thing that was called oh, what is it called? 1 million cups. I had no idea what I was doing. Shy as a biscuit. I don't know if biscuits get shy, but you know what I'm saying? Shy as a biscuit, right? And I went there and I was like, okay, my friends they set me up. They was like, you know, go ahead and do it. I'm a jumper, so I'll jump into things, and then before I really realized all of what I'm jumping into, so I jumped into it, and it was like this Shark Tank experience. And the men who were there, a lot of people had already told me, "Hey, you got to watch out for this guy. This guy, he will like rip you apart and say this, this, this." Y'all, I walked in that room like I knew what I was doing, like I've been doing it for 13 years. And at the end of the presentation, one of the main guys who's like normally like spit people out, you know, chew them up, spit them out, you know, he was like, what is it that you do? Because it just seems like you don't know what the heck you're doing and like all this stuff. And he was saying that because it still wasn't the level of clarity that it needed to be, but he was sold on my confidence that he wanted to know more about how I did what I did. And that's what you have to do in your brand. So the very first thing in speaking with the authority is you're speaking from a level of confidence that says, I'm sold on my own product. I'm sold on the results that they create. I'm not going to shy down for sharing wins for my clients, shy down from celebrating those case studies and sharing case studies of the results that they get before, middle, and after. Those are the things that pull people in, the stories that showcases those results. That's when you're stepping up and you're speaking with a level of authority in your brand and you're showcasing confidence through results. Because see, you can be doing a whole lot of things, but it's the results that speaks louder than anything else. So, Coach Don, do you have anything else that you want to add on that?
You know what? That's a lot of great stuff. And I'm so glad that you pointed that out with that confidence, right? Because when you try when you're starting your business in that first 1 to 5 years, like you talked about, it's really scary sometimes. And you don't necessarily always have the confidence to go out. But nobody else that you're going out in front of, your potential clients, they don't know that you don't have the experience, right? That, you know, that someone who's been doing it for 10, 12 years has. Step forward with that authority, with that confidence, and it will exude from you and they will be drawn to you. And that's the whole point, is stepping forward in your authority, speaking your truth to the people that you're a step or two ahead of. That's okay. That's far enough. You can still help them come along, but you do have to have that confidence exuding from you, whether it's clear or not. You know, when I went through my coach training program, there was somebody mentioned this one coach that had gone before me, and they were like, really? She's an okay coach, but her confidence is through the roof. And so people just come to her like, you know, like a moth to a flame. And she's okay in her coaching style, right? But she gets clients left and right because of her confidence and how she presents herself. That's what we mean when we say, you know, speak your brand with authority. Know what you have to offer, even if you've only been offering it for a day. You're a day ahead of someone else, right?
So true. And I'm so glad that you brought that up because that is 100% true. And, you know, there's this statistic out there. Don't know the exact numbers, Don, you may know, but it talks about how a man versus a woman. A woman feels like they have to have like almost 100% of all the things that they need before they go in and apply for a job. A man will come in there with like 50, 60, and they're going to come with a level of confidence that's like, I know who I am. I know what they're doing. And they will perform in that interview over that woman who has over 95% of all the experience and everything else. The same is true for us in our businesses, ladies. It's not about it's not necessarily about you trying to get it so perfect. It's about you growing as you go. It's about you having going through progressive, you're progressing as you grow. So, you know, what I was about to say is progressive sanctification, but that just kind of lets us know from the Bible never expected us to be perfect. The Lord said to progress, not to show up and already have all the answers. The same is true for you in your business. You got to show up and grow as you go, and you will learn from your audience, but you got to come with some confidence. I'm not going to buy from you if you don't believe in you. You got to be sold on you. You got to be sold on the products that you have and the transformation that it creates. And you have to be willing to share those results without feeling like you're bragging. And you got to get to a place to where this is not bragging. This is giving myself and my clients permission to shine in their divine lane, to shine their light. And y'all, I will tell you, I struggled with that. Just like how my daughter was feeling that way, I struggled with that too, because I was like, oh, like I'm going to make people feel like I'm bragging or feel less than because they don't have what I have. You know what? It gives other people permission to shine in their light, and it gives them the answer to the prayer that they've been literally seeking. So when you show up with that confidence, it's like she has literally the answer that I've been praying for, and if she is gonna have that confidence that's gonna get me there, and they're going to buy that. So first and foremost, you have to show up with confidence. The
Right.
second thing that we think about when we're speaking with authority, we're showing up and speaking our brand with authority, we have to have a clarity of purpose. If you think about any of the influencers that you follow, and whatever, it doesn't matter the industry, you know, mine are different. You know, I like me some Tyler, I love me some Tyler Perry, Bishop Jakes, Sarah Jakes. I love all kinds of people, right? I love me some Oprah. I love all the people, right? But the thing that I had to, you see, I love all the people. I need to stop listening to all the people. I have select people that I listen to. But one thing that I admire with them, they show up and they have a clear purpose of why they're there, what they stand for, what they represent, what their brand represents, and they're not all over the board. So many of us can't speak with the level of confidence and authority in our brand because we're trying to speak to all the things. What is your mission, sis? What is your purpose? Why does your business exist? Who am I and how do I serve? You need to be so clear on that. And once you start to understand that, then you can start to add other dimensions to it. But first, get clear on what's your main purpose. I serve Christian women entrepreneurs who want to achieve XYZ result. Like you got to be this clear. You can't be like, I serve all of Michigan. I serve all, because who, what? I don't like, I can't even connect with that because I know, first of all, I know that's a lie. You can't serve all of Michigan. You got to niche it down to a specific demographic of people that you know that you're clear on, and how you can serve them, and why your business exists, and how you can get them this. I'm getting tongue tied. Give them this specific result. So again, let me say clarity of purpose. And when you think about clarity of purpose, who I am and who I serve, it's so crazy because the thing that came to my mind was the person who came to my mind was E.T. the hip hop preacher. Many of you may have heard of him. He is he's a motivational speaker and he's an educational influencer. And the thing about that, and the reason why it came up for me, is because when you read it, when if you would you look at E.T. in his name, E.T. the hip hop preacher. First of all, how in the heck does that fit in the school system, the education system, and all of that name? Um, and then like he shows up and he has shorts and tennis shoes and like all these things, right? But let me tell you, his where he is, his brand, ET the hip hop preacher, he's very clear on who he is. And that ET the hip hop preacher that speaks to the motivational speaking that he does, and then his story, it connects to his purpose and why education is so important to him. And so we have to be able to intertwine the two, who I am and how do I serve, and have this clear level of purpose, so that whether however you walk in the room and whatever your title is, it's clear on what you do and how you serve. And you got to stop shying down from the very thing that God has given us. If he's told you that you're ET, the hip hop preacher, stop shying down in that to try to fit in the box of the educational confines. Because see, if he would have tried to fit in the back box of the educational confines, he would have been confined to limits, and he wouldn't have been able to rise up to the level of influence that he is to impact people beyond the educational system into the NBA, NFL, and on and on and on. But that's because he's clear on his purpose and how and why he educated. And so we as a brand, if we want to show up and speak with a level of confidence, we have to be clear on our purpose and why we exist, how we serve, and who we serve, and all of that type of things. Coach Don, what's your thought there?
That, you know what? I actually have not heard of him, so now I'm going to have to go look him up. So, but you're right. It's like when you go into any situation and you have that "I'm just" mentality, you're not going to get very far, right? Because you're dimming your light instead of shining it. You're like, "I'm just this," or "I need to conform to that," or "I need to serve everyone." That is so not true, because when you try to serve everyone, they don't know who you're talking to. I've done an example before about, when let's say you go to Oprah, right? Her show back in the day, and she's giving away one free car, not to everybody in the audience, right? But then she's like, "Okay, yeah, I'm going to give it to you." And she just points over there. It's like, well, who's she talking to? Did I win the car? Who are you talking to, Oprah? No, I'm talking to you, the girl with the turquoise jacket and the flower print shirt and, the cross necklace. She's talking to me. I won, right? That's the same with your marketing. That's the same with speaking, your clarity around your brand. Who are you talking to? They're not going to know when you're talking to them if you just say you in a generic overall sense, right? Who are you speaking to? Speak with authority to that one person. Know who that one person is. And then they will all all the people that are meant to be working with you, because you don't want to work with everybody. You really don't. You don't want to work with everybody. You want to be speaking to that person that really gets you and you get them, because you're going to be able to provide them a greater return for their investment. They're investing in you, what you can help them achieve. And you can't do that for everybody. You just can't. So be specific to that one so that you can get those results. But you have to show up, sis. You have to show up, because you're not going to have any case studies if you don't show up, right? If you don't show up and show out and start working with people, even if it's at a lower level investment where you don't want to be, right? But you have to start somewhere and then move your way up. But you have to show up in clarity, in purpose.
So good, so good. I want to read what Claire says here. And hey, Claire, as she says, also makes me think about how Jesus gave them different amounts of talents and told them to invest in what they had to use, and what they had used, what they knew. And so it's like basically what she's saying. The Lord gave us all a variety of gifts. But within those variety of gifts, there's something special and unique about us, and the gifts that He's given us. And so we have to stay true to that. And when we stay true to that, we stay true and in alignment with our purpose. We stay true and in alignment with our assignment. We stay true to the people that we've been called to serve. And it makes it easy for us to point out those people who are we're supposed to be serving. And it's not just like it's like you who struggle with this specific problem that needs this specific solution. I got your back like nobody else's business, because I've been gifted, anointed, and appointed to do this like nobody else. And then when y'all do that kind of stuff, ladies, it sets you apart. You speak differently, you show up differently, and you don't shy down. When I first started my business, I would walk in a room and I would be shy. And you know what? Now I do still have that shy nature, but try to tell me that I don't know what God has told me. I'm going to tell you, you don't know my God. And so you'll start to come back with a level of authority, because you know who you are and you know why you exist, and you're not going to compromise, try to fit, to conform, to fit into somebody else's box or make somebody else's comfortable. You're going to show up and be like, you know what? These are the results I create. This is the transformation I help people with. And I'm not going to shy down from that, because I know that people are depending on me to show up, because people's lives are literally dependent. Y'all, I need y'all to know that. Like, so many of us are thinking like, oh, I'm just like Coach Don said. No, you're the answer. You're a solutionary. You have been gifted with something that I need, my child need, my grandchild that I ain't even had need, things like that. But this is not about you. This is about the assignment that you've been given to advance God's kingdom. And so you have to remember why you're here. And when you know that, you're going to speak with a whole nother level of authority. And that starts with your mindset. So you got to start doing some mindset work. Start priming yourself in the mornings, and throughout the day if you need to start saying who I am, why I exist, what's my mission, and who
Mm.
am I called to serve. Start just saying it. Let that repetition start to play its part in your life. And when you start getting that repetition, when it comes time to share your message, it's just gonna be just easy. It's just gonna roll off your tongue, and you're before you know, you're gonna look up and be like, "Oh my gosh! Like I'm speaking differently, I'm showing up differently, I'm sitting up differently. I'm a little feisty. Maybe I need to calm down, but maybe I'm not gonna calm down." You know, you got to get to that type of place. That's when you know you're speaking with another level of authority. I want to. So the next thing is when we're talking about speaking your brand with authority, you have to be authentic. You have to be authentic to you. Now, what you want to, a note that you need to take is your brand is who you are when you're in, or who you are, the experience you create when you're in or outside of a room. The experience you create when you're in or outside the room. It's what people are saying when you're not in the room. It's what people are saying when you are in the room. It's all of that. It's the experience that you create. What's that experience look like? That experience that includes your personality. So many times we want to say that I'm too much. I'm too much. You too much for who? Who said that? Like
Mm.
whoever said that, did they create you? Did they put the DNA in you? Like, because see, every all of us have a different personality, and we have that personality for a reason, to relate to people at the point of their need. Because I have a personality, even though I have a shy nature, I can be very bold when it comes to my assignment, to speaking to dead and dormant areas, to call up greatness and to activate gifts, and to help you to step into your anointing and your assignment. And so and if I would shy down to that and just try to fit into what I've seen other people to do, then I would be missing an opportunity to fully serve somebody who needs somebody to be that bold, to say, to speak to them and make them back and be like, well, hold up, wait a minute, I am talking to you, and it's time for you to show up and shine. And so, it makes me think about Peter. Peter, he had that bold personality, like myself, where his was probably way, way, way. But he had a bold personality. Do you think God did that by accident? No. Bartholomew, he was more of an encourager. So he was more of that friend type personality. Do you think that was by accident? No. Everybody's personality was given to them on purpose. And so when we think about our personality and how you show up and you speak in your brand, this can include your languaging. So when we think about people, agree or don't agree, it's a little too much for me, but I can say he has some good things that he do say, beyond all the things. Gary V, he's a cusser like nobody, and I just can't do that much cussing. But when you get through some of the language, then you realize that there's some things. When we think about Brene Brown, she cussed in her messaging. She don't say as many words, but she do use language, and she's being true to herself, and she's not going to compromise that for anybody else. Their style. When we think about style, your style in your brand, it makes a difference in how you show up and speak. If you feel good, you're going to show up and present yourself, your message accordingly. So if you feel like, oh man, I got to be all buttoned up, suit and tie, I'm choking because I got this tight necklace on and this tight skirt, I can't even have one. Like you're gonna show up that way. But if you feel good in your ripped jeans and your blazer and your cute heels, that's what I like. Then and you're not trying to fit in, then you're going to show up and you're going to feel that you're going to create that experience that's authentic to you, your brand, your message, and how you show up. And then when we think about the authenticity, how you got to create a feel that's true to you. Is the feel of your message Is it warm? Is it engaging? Is it inspiring? Is it transformational? What is that feel that you create, and you just incorporate it in the way that you speak about your message, whether it's writing or if you're verbally speaking it, whatever that looks like. And then give it some tone and some dimension and some essence. That's what it means to show up and speak your brand with authority, because you're being authentic. And when you're being authentic to you, you're starting to stand in your authority. And now you can express your message from a true place, in a genuine place, because believe it or not, people can read past your lies in the mask that you put on. So why put the mask on? Take the mask off, wash it, crumble it, do whatever you got to do, and show up and be you, and do it unapologetically. Coach Don, what do you have?
You know, you can see this in so many people when they arrive, right, where they really are supposed to be, stepping into their destiny, stepping into their purpose. You can see it because, like we both, watch Pastor Michael Todd, and you can see it, his transformation. And that's funny because he's pastor of Transformation Church, right? But you can see when he started out, he was conforming to what he thought he needed to be doing. He was showing up in the suits and all the things. And now, like, come full force into, he is stepping into his authority. He is branding with purpose in his authority. He's showing up as himself. Whether you think right or wrong, like, oh, he should be in a suit, he's a pastor, whatever. No, he's showing up how he needs to be showing up and speaking God's word in a way that he's going to attract people that are not going to be attracted by the suit and tie, Billy Graham preachers. Let's just be honest. There's a certain type, right? They're both doing their calling. They're
Yes.
both doing it exactly the way that they're supposed to be doing, because certain people, Billy Graham had a huge following, huge following, right? People of today are not going to understand that as much. When I say people of today, just hear me out. But there's certain people that are going to gravitate towards Michael Todd that wouldn't towards Billy Graham. And they're going to be like, wow, I've never heard a preacher be so humble, open, and transparent. He preaches about being a hot church, humble, open, and transparent. He is stepping into authority. He's wearing his tennis shoes on stage. He's wearing his gold bling on stage. He's not all the buttoned up right now. He is transformed, but he started somewhere and then he figured out every step of the way, like getting closer and closer to speaking his brand with authority, knowing what God has put him here on this earth to do. And it is just, it is so amazing to watch that. And sis, wherever you are right now, just start. Know that God has you and he is going to help you to speak your brand, but you have to get out there and do it. And where you are today is not going to be where you are in 5 years. And that's okay. Take every little step and tweak it and perfect it as you go. And then just keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up. That's my message today. Keep showing up.
I love that, Coach Don. And that was just an amazing example, because you're so right. And, he was just giving an example about him going to the golf course, and like how people at the golf course are like, they were all like dressed this certain way, and he come in with his chains and all this, but he wasn't willing to change who he was to try to fit into this mode of how everybody else is. And that's the same is true for us. And so, y'all, these are just three of the things that you need to do to speak with authority in your brand. And there is so much more that we can discuss. But what I would like to say is, don't just be a hearer of these things. Like, literally take these three things that we talked about, and go and see how can you incorporate these in your brand. Are there areas that you can work on when it relates to your confidence? Is there an area that you can relate to that you can work on when it comes to clarity of purpose? Is there something you can do to improve in your authenticity and being true to the experience that you was destined to create? So go back and look at that. And then, y'all, we're going to be going even deeper on things like this in our Purpose Driven Profits workshop next week. It's kicking off on Monday, I believe at 12, right, Coach Don? 12 Central Time.
Yep. 12 o'clock.
Y'all, it's gonna get so juicy. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about how to transform your purpose into profit and double your income in 90 days or less. It is literally happening off in our group coaching program with our clients, and we're gonna talk about some things that have helped them to get to the level that they are progressing into. And so in day one, I'm gonna be talking about the real reason why you're not making money and 3 ways you can fix it. Because the truth is, if you don't know why you're not making money, how can you fix it and how can you grow and go to get to that next level? In day two, I'm going to be talking about turning your purpose into profits with a live demonstration because some of us are, we're uh, visual learners. And so we need that demonstration. So I'm going to be doing a demonstration so you can literally see, and we're going to walk through this together. And then in day three, we're going to be talking about marketing on purpose to drive financial results because you can be doing all the marketing, branding, doing all the things, but if it's not on purpose, then you're not going to drive the financial results that you've been desiring. So that's just 3 days. Coach John is coming with some other great topics. What you want to go ahead and call out your topics real quick, Coach John?
Yeah, for my days, a lot of what we've been talking about here is doubt, right? When people don't step forward and speak their brand with authority, they have doubt, right? They have fear. So my session is going to be to defeat that doubt and embrace your destiny. And it's so important, you guys. It's going to be so good because like she said, the things that we touched on today, we're going to be taking a deep dive. So that's day 4 of the workshop. And then day 5 is accountability avoidance. So you guys, a lot of times we avoid things because of that fear, because of that doubt. So we're going to defeat the doubt on the 4th day. And then we're going to talk about how to overcome that accountability avoidance. So it's going to be really good. We want you in the room. We want you there with us live again, starting Monday at noon, right here, wherever we are. We're actually inside the Women Entrepreneurs Doing Business God's Way Facebook group. That's where it's going to be held. So please, 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 if you have not joined our group, hop on over there. We'll put the link somewhere in here for you to join. And we want you there with us on Monday because we're going to be taking a deep dive into your purpose, help you get some clarity and make that money. You guys, it is not wrong to make money, but you have to have a purpose and do it on purpose.
So good. You can invite 5 of your business besties to join you so y'all can rock it out together and hold one another accountable as you are driving those profits on purpose. Until next week, y'all, we'll see you again Thursday at 12 CST. Bye.